Congratulations, Hassan. So you cleared enough.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You know, me and Avas, your facilitator, and Hassan
Yes, sir.
also, we have been discussing for last 10 years about your score. And he's saying, sir, why you are not letting him give the exam? And I told him, maybe he has shared it with you or not. I told him his scores goes about of control chart. You are so good. I said, I don't know, but his scores are going above of my control chart. Like today I told him two of your batchmates, they are getting one got 64, 66 in mock 4 180 and the other got 69. I told them to do mock 5, and if they get above 65%, give them the exam. Now if you got 80%, that is about out of my line. So that kept me worrying what you are doing, what you are not doing. But the most important thing is you go ahead, you went to the exam and you cleared it. Walk us through how was your exam, what lessons you can share. The is batch 11 with you. So this is their day 2. So what, as a
Yes.
facilitator, as a servant leader, what you can share with them? Please go ahead.
Yes. So first of all, I would like to thank you, sir, and Mr. Hassan Trimzi and Awais. They really helped me a lot. So my journey started on 18th of October, and before that, you already started sharing the pre-class lectures with me. So those lectures really helped me a lot. So I started working on my PMP. And before the actual classes started, I already had gone through all of the courses. And during the classes, it was the second revision. So once you clear the first time and the second time round, then more or less you know the content and the main concepts. So after that, when we started mocks, so the mocks were quite tricky. And for me, 75% was not good enough. And I was, I was keep sharing my marks with Hassan Drimzi and Awais and with you, of course. They never told me that the marks are above the control limit. They would always keep telling me that you need to check your mistakes and keep learning from them. So RCA, I was doing RCA continuously, and those RCAs helped me a lot to have the more conceptual information because the questions were always tricky, sometimes hybrid, sometimes predictive and agile. So doing RCA, that is a deal breaker. Without RCA, no one can actually pass the exam.
I'm
So
gonna
my
stop you.
exam, it
Wait.
was,
Hassan, guys, now that is why I was saying RCA. Yesterday they had the first enclosure to the RCA, right? So, and I want you to little bit emphasize more because I know most of them will be saying that RCA is not needed, RCA is hard. You have went through the process. So can
yeah,
you put
yeah.
little bit more why RCA is important?
Yeah. Without RCA, there is no success. RCA is very hard actually doing RCA for all the right and wrong question, both. It is very hard. But this without this, there is no success. You see, learning the context of the PMP, you can have knowledge and concepts, but doing the real thing, getting into the scenario and then pointing the right direction in that, if you are not doing RCA, you cannot pass the exam. And for the classes lecture, you need to do RCA for the right questions also, and the wrong ones, of course, those have to be done. So because without RCA, you will not know why your question is right and what are the reasons for the wrong answers. So my test, it was, I would not say that it was a easy test. It was a balanced test, not so tough, not so easy, but they make sure that it is not a single-sided match. and you have to prove your worth in order to achieve this certificate.
Okay.
So I would like to point few technical challenges which I faced. The first one was in the laptop or in the home screens. Whenever we want, we can zoom
Okay.
in or
So
zoom
you
out
you
the
gave
question.
exam you gave exam at home or at center?
At center.
At
Always prefer giving exam at the centers.
okay, okay, you gave exam at center. Okay, which center was that?
It was Peshawar in Peshawar.
In
I,
Peshawar.
I choose Peshawar for a reason because in Islamabad sometimes we get many
Okay, okay,
problems.
okay, okay. That is okay. Okay. So in Peshawar. So what was the challenge? Please go ahead.
So, while giving mocks at home, you can always zoom in or zoom out to have a clear vision of the question. But in the center, they have a software. You cannot increase or decrease the font size. So it was a Calibri font with 10 or 12 font size. So you need to have a good practice of this, because otherwise you will be facing problem to read the question carefully. And the
Okay.
second technical challenge was that my monitor screen, it was like 36-inch big screen. So the
Uh,
question would
at center
the
it was
question
30.
would
No, no. At center or at home? How it was? At center?
yes. No, no, at
Okay.
center,
Normally it is 24-inch standard,
at
but for
center.
you it was 36-inch. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. It was quite big. It was quite big, and the question would start at the left-hand side, and it was not two or three lines question because one line was enough to make it three or four lines if we consider the laptop screen size.
Okay.
So I was not used to it, so I was not able to remember the context of the question, because if you have a question of two or three lines you can always refer back, but if you have question of one big line, then it is really challenging.
Okay.
So other than that, uh, the deal breaker is that no matter how hard you have studied and prepared, if you do not have good sleep before the exam, at least 7 or 8 hours sleep, it is must before the exam, because in the exam you must be very good at thinking. If you have not slept well, then it is going to be a challenge in the exam for 4 hours, and have a good breakfast before going to the exam center, so that the mind can work best of its abilities.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So these three things you need to be careful. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So other than that, flashcards in the course, Sir Amir has put flashcards. So the flashcards are very important. You need to know the definitions, what is regression analysis and other things. It is very important that you keep studying the flashcards also.
Okay. Okay. That we will give in the as we move forward. Okay. So, guys, this is something that I wanted to share with you guys. Now, if you have any question, you can raise your hand how you want to do. How did you manage time? So, first section, second section, third section, and which area was dominant?
Yeah. So, sir, I managed time 80 minutes for the first part, and then 75 and 75.
Hmm.
So, for me, the third part was a bit difficult, because I did not sleep well before the exam. This was the only reason. Otherwise, I would go much above the target. But it was okay. So
Yeah,
teams,
stop getting that unsatisfied. This guy got all above target. He passed the exam. Still, you want like what will you get if you get more marks? Stop getting that ungrateful. If it had turned
yes,
out opposite direction, let me
yes,
tell you interesting thing. The portfolio exam that I gave few months back, that is the only exam where I got all above target. I am a person who has majority students with all above target. I never got above target. PMP, RMP, SPP, like so many certificates. So stop worrying about it. Getting that and
yes,
passing is a great thing. Okay. So which area was dominant in the
yes.
exam?
So team was dominant. I would say that 60% of the questions were related to managing the team. Then agile was 20%. Then hybrid was also coming much. So I would say that 10% was hybrid and 10% was stakeholders and communication.
Okay.
So the team is very important, team topic.
Okay. 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 And how many drag and drop questions?
So drag and drop was about five, and it was related to conflict management, and then this power interest grid.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was a scenario that a scenario was given, and then we have to put the utilizing the definition. We have to put the positions of the organizational people into the grid, and then this drag and drop was from the agile.
Okay. 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 That's
So critical path questions were also there. Yeah, related to project performance like TCPI.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah, we will discuss these things in the classes, guys. As he is saying, today is your day two, and what he just said, the exam is agile, stakeholder, communication team. Yesterday we covered agile. Today we will cover stakeholder, communication team. Like 80% of the content of the exam is covered today. So today is the most important day of the class. Let me make it that simple for you. Today is the most important day of the class. Okay. Hassan, what would be your advice to these people? How they can be consistent? What effort, what recommendation would you give them? How they can be consistent?
Okay, so sir, I would like to say that people ask quite often that how much time did you give to PMP per day? So I would say that study time and consuming knowledge are two different things. So if you have consumed knowledge for 1 or 2 hours, it is important that the knowledge you have consumed that must be put into practice for mocks and questions. So without that, you cannot get benefit of the consumed knowledge. So if you want to do it, the best way is that you give it more time. I know that all are working professionals, and when we come home late in the evening, then after the dinner, everyone is as good as dead, and we cannot give enough time. But this thing can be done in the shortest time, in the best possible way, which Mr. Saramir they will teach you in the coming days. If you want to do it, be consistent and do not take holidays. Even if you have 5 or 10 minutes spare in a day, you must be giving to this exam. Like me, in the office time, even if I would get some time, I would keep doing these mocks on the mobile and app. So consistency and time, it is very important. You must give it. So in 4 weeks, you can easily do this.
Thank you. Thank you. This is the line I wanted to hear. In 4 weeks, all of you can do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. Four
yeah,
weeks can do.
and this is what all 40 of you in the batch 10, batch 11, I really need that. Guys, anyone has any question from this guy? Just cleared PMP exam. Hassan, you know that as other people are doing, each one teach one is the
That's
mantra of the game. I really need you, first of all, the work start from batch 10. There are 50 plus students in the batch 10, and I want you to guide them. I want you to coach them wherever they need. They will be reaching you out. Yes, Avas is there. Yes, Hassan Trims is there. Yes, I am there. But they will be reaching you out. So support them. And I will be asking you. Today, Zishan shared me. He cleared today exam 20 questions. And I'm gonna use those questions in PMP marathon. So I'm gonna ask you if you can make some questions. And I know that your English is very high. So if you can make some of those questions, I will be needing them. Okay, for the
Right, sir.
PMP
Right, sir.
marathon. Okay, these two things are very important, and do share your picture. I will use it for thumbnail later on. Ji Asif Saab, go ahead, please, sir.
Right, sir.
Congratulations for you clearing the exam. My question is, Mr. Amir was also mentioning this yesterday, and you are also mentioning this today, that it's always preferred to take the test in the center. May I know, is there a specific reason behind it?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. He has not given the exam in home. When you are at the home, if your internet goes out, it's your problem. You were failed. If uh, Secondly, if your computer is a company computer, there are firewalls. That's your problem. Thirdly, as you are right now doing that, right? If we cannot do that, we cannot do that. I cannot do. Cannot do that. Like this is my habit. You will see when you ask question or when I'm reading like that. I actually do that. Okay, I actually do that. I
Yeah, yeah,
cannot do.
yeah.
I
Mm.
cannot do like this in the class. I cannot do for 4 hours. I need to sit there. A proctor is watching. So that is such a like I would say not a good scenario for me. Of course, if you can practice, you can do that. But I don't recommend that. If you practice, you can do that. I don't recommend that. That's a very important thing. Okay. Ibrahim, my and Ali, my voice is okay now. Can put in the chat box. Asif, any other question?
Yeah, so these are strict guidelines from them, right?
Of course. I had a
Yeah.
student. Uh, she was very well prepared. I told her we need to give exam in 1 week. She was in Lahore. It's back almost 2 years back, and she booked her exam online. I told her give in the center, but she said I have given another exam. She did not share with me, and the next day said, "Sir, I had a problem." I said, "What problem?" Sir, I was giving exam and it got cancelled. Why it got cancelled? The internet issue. The PMI did not listen to them, and she had to pay the again re-examination fees and give the exam after 1 week and pass the exam. So I don't want that to happen anymore. Okay, your internet has to be perfect. Okay, that is first thing. They also say that your internet has to be perfect. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Asif. Yes, Hashim, go ahead.
Assalamualaikum. Very many congratulations for your success, Mr. Hassan. I need to ask
Thank
you
you.
one
Thank you.
question regarding your time. How did you prepare? How did you schedule your time after job when you come home? If you're leaving 4 hours, how did you manage? And if left 4 hours, how much time did you go for RCA and other for to learn new stuff? How did you manage that?
Yes, for the topics, you have to do the RCA, and those are maximum questions of 49 or 50 questions in those topics, so that you can do in 1.5 hour. And other than that, when you get to the mocks for the people, process, random, and others, so at that time, Mr. Hassan Trimzi, Sir Amir, and Mr. Awais, and other facilitators, they keep looking at your marks, and then they keep guiding you if you need to do RCA for the complete section or only the wrong ones. So managing the time, I would get back home at 6. Then I would study up to 10 or 11 or 12, because even though if we are not sleeping, we are not studying, we are not sleeping either, because either we are surfing Facebook or TikTok and any other irrelevant activities. So those are actually not adding values in our life. So for 1 month, you need to stop doing those activities and give the full time to the PMP. So this is how I have done. like stop Facebook, TikTok, and other
Thanks a lot for your
non-value things. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And that it all comes down to this thing. You need to prioritize this thing. Without prioritization, no matter how good prepared you are, you cannot study. This is, you have to do that. You have to remove distraction without any doubt. Yes, Ali, go ahead. Muhammad Ali.
Alaikum. Congratulations, Hassan.
Thank you
Hassan,
so
my
much.
question to you is, in the exam, how much part was the theoretical part and how much part was the mathematical part? And do we have to memorize any formulas if there's any mathematical part? Secondly, yesterday before the exam, and was the registration process easy, or appreciate if you can share this?
Yes. So formula questions would be either very few or none. Either very few or none. Secondly, all the questions are scenario basis. So while going through the lectures and having in the class, you need to keep writing the important concepts. And while doing the RCA, you need to understand why my question is right or wrong. In this way, you can understand and relate those answers to your lectures. So, in this way, your concepts will be clear. So, all the questions are conceptual based. So, in order to pass that, you must need to understand the concepts and this. So, the formula questions won't be sufficient. It will be either two or three or none. You
Uh,
do not need to memorize.
yeah, mathematical question is not that much. That is not needed. Okay. Thank you very much, Hassan. Thank you for your time and really happy
Thank you,
that
sir.
you are able to maintain. Lakshmi, you have question. Go ahead, Lakshmi.
Yeah, congratulations, Hassan. Actually, I have a
Thank you, ma'am.
question. Did you take the 10-minute break exactly after your 60 questions, or you continued without the break?
Yes, ma'am, break is very important. For me, actually, I did not had a good sleep before the exam, so I was struggling because of this poor sleep. So other than that, it is very important that you take break. You can keep some food items in the locker, so whenever you have a break you can get those items and consume food. You can use toilet, and you can move around. So break is important. You can just relax a bit and then come back after 10 minutes and restart. So I took all the breaks, two breaks actually.
Okay, and how did you like how much time did you take for your first 60 questions and the second one? Like the second set of 60 and the last one. Like how did you break that time?
Yeah. So in the questions, sometimes this test is balanced test, and once you get a long or lengthy question which is consuming more time, and after sometimes you will keep getting the questions, you can just do it in, I think, 15 or 20 seconds. So the time management won't be a problem. You can just stop looking at the clock and concentrate on the questions. So they make sure that it is not a biased paper, it is a balanced paper with respect to difficulty level and time management.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you very much, Hassan. And I wish you best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
We'll keep talking.
Yes, sir.
We'll
Yes,
keep talking and we'll keep working into that context. And each one teach one is the most important thing. Hassan, see if you can send some question by tomorrow. Thank you very much, Hassan.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So this was Hassan. It was his success journey. Now I want to record your success journey.